Hello and welcome to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast for the DC20 Unlocked series, brought to you by DriveCentric. For more information or to get signed up for the next DC20 event, go to DriveCentric.com. Let's brew! What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And it's Fred Lenart, subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions for another DC20 Unlocked episode where we are brewing solutions and talking about all the stuff that could be making your business operate better by using the incredible platform that is DriveCentric. We have an incredible couple of guests that are up in here today, Fred, and we are excited about it.
Man, beyond excited. We have Matt Tierney, one of our good friends, also a big person over there right now at DriveCentric, doing some big things. He's been on a sales department doing some massive stuff, but he started from the bottom. Now he's here and he's going to keep growing with the business. Just like how DriveCentric constantly evolves, so does Matt. And I love to see where he's going. He's going to do a great demonstration for us today about this AIM product that they have, the Augmented Intelligence Marketing. And I'm going to tell you, Augmented Intelligence is different, folks. And we're going to talk about that also today. And we have an amazing guest that comes from a dealership, general manager of an amazing store, and I can't wait to have him on here, and I can't wait to announce who that is. But Lou, are you excited, bro?
I'm pumped up. I'm really pumped up because there is so much anticipation that's happening when it comes to the next DC20 Unlocked event that's going to be happening down in Vegas. We are pumped up to go down to Nashville, have some fun, maybe pick out some cowboy boots and a hat, and have a good time down there in Music City. But before we really get to having some fun, let's go ahead and drop our friend in here, the one, the only, Matt Tierney. Welcome to the party, Matt. Excited that you're here. How excited are you about taking it down to the hills of Tennessee into Nashville?
That's right.
I can't wait, man. It's a super fun city. We'll get to go visit Steve in his new hometown. Very excited to take that show on the road for the first time.
Heck yeah. And he is in a whole new town. And we are pumped up that he's going to take us for a fun tour of it, as he has a daughter that's doing her thing, trying to make it in the music biz. And you got to love a father, especially in this auto industry, that does focus on their family and does make sure that it is bigger than business. They'll move the whole family over there to support the dream of the incredible Jenna, who's making some things happen. And maybe we'll get the chance to hear her a little bit. I don't know. But we are excited that we're going to be able to have the chance to go out there and hopefully connect with a whole bunch of you car guys and car gals that need to go ahead and get yourself registered up for this event. But man, there is a lot that's brewing, and we want to hear a little bit about how this AIM gets everybody focused in on going to the next level. And there are some things that are working out on it. So Matt, real quick, what was it that made you choose the special guest we are about to announce for this particular show?
Yeah, so he gave it a trial at his store to see how it would function, and he's been seeing great results from it, getting excited about it, and just having him on the show to be able to talk about how it's working live in his store is a special treat. Just I can talk about how it works from our aspect. When you get someone inside the dealership and seeing how it's actually working at their store and helping out, that helps.
Oh man, super excited about that. We had a chance to talk with him before the show. Not only is he going to talk about how great the product is, but he's also going to tell you what he thinks can get better about it. And I think that's important to talk about those things, because the only way we get better is talking about what needs to get better. But the product is phenomenal, and it's something that's not out in market that's doing what it's doing. So the only way it gets better, like I said at the top of the show, is we constantly evolve, just like Matt, just like DriveCentric does, and just like any solutionary out there is constantly looking to get better every single day. Right, Lou?
Yes, that is totally right. And we are excited for all the solutionaries that are already in the house jumping in. But we got to go ahead and get some more up inside of this party. So go ahead and tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal.
And share. Get
the
message out there, everybody. Let's go ahead and make welcome to the podcast, because we are here to not percolate problems, everybody, but to brew solutions and to be able to figure out how we go to the next level. And we're all in it together for you. So make sure that you tag some people, get them inside of the party, but help to make welcome for the first time on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, here for a DC20 Unlocked episode, the one,
the only,
Very exciting intro here. I hope I can match the energy. Wow.
Well, we got something for you. Here's a little sip of some Car Guy coffee. Get you
need some of that, man.
Well, welcome to the party, Calvin. Where are you calling in from?
DC, Bethesda, Maryland, right outside of DC.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. And tell us a little bit about you and how you made it to where it is that you are now on the show talking about DriveCentric.
It's a good question. I guess long story with that. Been in the game for about 20 years, 22 years out of college. Studied computers, didn't like it too much, wanted to talk to people, and ended up in the car business. And it's been a good journey. Found the perfect dealership for myself, which is Chevy Chase Automotive. It's one of the few single point dealerships left in the DC market. Gives me some autonomy to look at the different technologies, make some choices. And we've been the #1 dealership for 6 years in a row, precision team. So a lot of awards, a lot more to do, and excited about the next 20 years that I have in the business.
Heck yeah. Well, awesome. Well, welcome to the party.
Lou, there's a funny story that Kaveh may not remember too much, but when I got into sales over with Steve and was in like my training aspect, he was one of the first stores that I saw Steve demo and got to be on the background learning the sales process through Kaveh there.
Wow. That's awesome. That is history.
How does this work with my process? That's what I like to ask.
I think that's something that a lot of dealers ask is, how is this going to work with my process? Or do I have to develop a process for it? But we love the question even being asked, because processes are needed for us to be able to work well with our people, but also make sure that we get our technology to be maximized. So inside of that, we know that there is a lot that we are trying to experiment over at DriveCentric with, and different things that they're always trying. They're always trying to be able to take their tool to the next level to make awesome super users out there like yourself. What is it that this particular mission was for, and why was it that you decided to go ahead and jump in on it?
I guess when you talk about AI, it piques everyone's interest at this point.
True that.
To be able to have engagement with your customers, something that I think I'm concerned about, and maybe a lot of dealerships are, is just how well you retain your customers. How likely are they to come back to you or potentially go through the whole shopping process again? A lot of it has to do with keeping that conversation, engaging with the customer, showing that you have empathy, and having some AI technology that can be a salesperson. I feel like it's doing that right now.
True.
I totally agree. And I got to ask Matt real quick. Everyone's talking about artificial intelligence and all this stuff. I love the word augmented intelligence. And why did you guys decide to go that direction? Because I know why, but I'd love to hear it from you.
Yeah, because I think one of the biggest things when people think AI is they think of it as replacing humans and taking humans out of the dealership. AI is not good as AI alone. What you need to do is have a system that has your humans work with the AI. So that's why we went with augmented, because AI alone is not going to get you where you need to go. You still need the human aspect involved at the dealership for that human touch as well. So that's where we went with that augmented piece, is it's AI plus human.
That's awesome.
I love
makes
that.
sense.
And Jenna says it's always suave with Kaveh.
Suave Kaveh.
I love that.
Welcome to the party.
Easy way to remember the name.
100%. But you're right. I love that. And I love the name. I love the name of it, AIM, right? Because when you think about aim, you're thinking about targets. You're actually shooting at good targets. Instead of shooting aimlessly, let's aim at something and really go for it. So I really love how you took that approach with that also, with the augmented intelligence marketing. So excited about that. So Kaveh, you suave. Now that's just gonna get me every time.
Kaveh. Okay,
Kaveh, suave. I love that, man.
Dance with you guys.
Yeah, dude. We like to dance. It's a challenge. Let's have some fun. But at the end of the day, it's about the product. And since it's been in there, how long have you guys had it implemented now?
About 30 days.
Okay. And I know you've seen ups and downs with it, but I'm sure you're seeing definitely something that can really help you. What do you feel is the best benefit of it so far?
Just keeping that. I feel like it's a retention tool. It's keeping the engagement with the customers. Without it, I think it's scary not to engage with these customers the way that we are. And we're seeing the potential that we could do with the customer cycle of buying a car every 4 or 5 years and reaching out to customers and asking if everything's okay, whether it's a service issue or a potential issue with their vehicle. We're seeing things that wouldn't have came to the surface without it, which it gives us opportunities. I think the best way to build a relationship with someone is to find a problem and be the solution, and it's seeking out those problems that customers have.
My goodness, you sound like a solution.
I take off my solutionary hat to you, sir. Great answer. Yeah, great answer. But that's, I could tell, but that's the way it should be. And I think that if everyone takes an approach like that with all tools and people and situations and processes, you will get better if you look at it towards that type of direction. I love that. Solutions over problems, because there's plenty of problems. I want to find the people who have the solutions. They get me excited, right? That gets me excited about life. So when I deal with businesses like DriveCentric, who are constantly looking for solutions for their clients, especially on a way that we communicate, like you said, being able to retain customers should be number one. We spend a lot of money to get them, and then we don't do anything about keeping them. Most salespeople let that stuff just trickle out of their fingers and don't communicate with them, don't follow up with them, don't do a lot of things with them. So having the power of augmented intelligence and with the marketing really can change it up, really reach people when it's the right time to reach them, so that you can get to that next phone call where you can set that appointment for them to come in. I love this stuff. So what's been you have a success story or anything that's come through that?
Nothing that I can really brag about, but there's definitely been
Pretty
opportunities that are deals that are coming, materializing from. If there's no heat cases, I think it's prevented more heat cases than maybe making success stories, which less heat cases, more success stories you have time to create.
And we all know the general manager always gets all the heat cases.
That's right. He's the fire department is basically the general manager's office.
And that's all you need to do is go through AIM and see potential issues that can come up and put in new processes and build it up. So there's a lot of investigations in AIM. It's looking at everything, asking customers questions. It's starting off the conversations, showing a lot of empathy, which allows customers to open up. So there's a lot there to work with.
Awesome. And there's a lot that's brewing over at DriveCentric for you all to even be able to set your sights in focus, to be able to take aim at a technology like this. But Matt, what was it that kind of started to get your sights zeroed in on this particular piece, not just being a buzzword or the whole flow that everybody is in with AI, which again, it's taken over and it's going to, this isn't going to slow down. We are going to refine this. It's going to get better and better as we go on. But what was it that made you all take such a pivot to add your energies into being able to produce such a solution for our dealers?
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it, AI being the buzzword, right? I think if you're talking AI now, you're already behind a year when it comes to AI, and that's where we're going with the augmented piece. Is it's the humans working with the AI, and Fred kind of said it, and it's not always the salespeople's fault. When you have a database of a couple 100,000 people, you just can't. It's not possible to retain everyone and keep them in your conversations and hit them on their birthdays or hit them just to reach out and say, hey. It's humanly impossible. So that's why we wanted to help create this. It's not only like a lead gen, but Kaveh mentioned it. This is a retention tool to keep customers coming back to your dealership. So you're at the forefront of their mind when it comes to them buying a car. She's going to help create that relationship with the store while your salespeople can keep doing what they do best. And that's selling the cars out there on the floor and doing what they do best. So that augmented piece allows the humans to do what they do best and let the AI help where she does best.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And I know you have something prepared for everybody to see. I think this might be a great time for you to do. Why don't you show everybody really quick? Because we could talk about it. I love when we can show it a little bit more, right? Be able to give a little quick demo on that. I want you audience members to, if people who need to see this type of stuff or interested, share this out right now. It's an opportunity while he's getting this set up. Share this out because this is something that people need to see. Get that pulled up for you. Bam.
Is that showing?
Yes, sir.
You can see it, bro.
Touch base on two of one of the reasons for creation is we learned that at any given point in time, there's about 3% of your database that's in the market. And how do you find that if you're segmenting off your mining tool to hit just specific customers on if they bought a year ago or for this model? The goal is to have every customer talking to your store and they're going to let you know if they're in the market. So our goal is to hit that 3% for lead gen, but also like Kaveh mentioned is keeping those customers in retention. So if you talk to them, they're not in the market. We want them to build that relationship with your store as a brand ambassador to come back when the time is right.
And the time is right for everybody at a different time.
That's right.
That's the thing, being able to see, okay, how do we plan this out? Because our salespeople only can do so much inside of a month, and you have captured thousands of people over the time of you being inside a business. And I'm very sure that Kaveh have seen where once we lose sometimes our people, like we lose retention of our people, our sales pros, our managers. When we lose them, we start to lose the customers that are in our database, or it's very, very hard to establish a new point of contact for them. What have you seen inside of those challenges, Kaveh?
the biggest issue we have, turnover in this business and trying to keep the relationship with the customer and the salesperson. We have these lifelong policies where if you sell them a car, it's your customer. What happens with the orphan customers with those policies? What happens when the salesperson leaves? To try to keep that one point of contact, which is you have Katie Bishop in this system, we have Isabel Andrews in ours. It doesn't become interchangeable. It becomes less of a threat for us when you have something like that. So
yeah, at the end of the day, Cave, wouldn't you agree that the customer is the store's customer at the end of the day, regardless?
100%. Yeah, and we challenge ourselves with this. We it's all about the retention and the relationship, right? And we think that the salesperson is going to be the best one, but there's no guarantee that person is going to stay for 6 months or 6 years. With this, it's our decision whether or not we want to keep it, and that keeps things much more consistent.
And the odds say that they're not going to stay there past the 2-year mark, based off of the history that we have so far.
There's obviously different things that might be in our control, out of our control to keep people, but it is always a risk. There's always a threat of them leaving and then having to tell that customer, this is your new salesperson and they're going to be helping you out. So I think that is a part of it that I really do like, that we are giving that high level of service to our customers.
Right. And so with that, what I think does happen in the meantime, Matt, is we lose conversations that happen with our customers. We can have that same customer might be loyal to the dealership, and we can't keep up with the conversations that they had with the first 2 salespeople that sold them, and now trying to build a new relationship with the freshest sales pro that's on the ground, who's just really excited to call somebody and say, hey, I'm your new guy to help you out. But they have zero reference as to what has been said before, what have you bought before, because they're probably only reading pretty superficially through that file. What is it that you guys did to help make sure that the intelligence is actually intelligent about the whole situation?
Yeah, for sure. And the best part of Drive is all that customer record is on one file. And I know it's hard to get some salespeople and even managers to read the lead or read the conversations before they reach out, but she does that. She goes through the whole customer record of conversation notes, texts, and emails. So when she does reach out to the customers, they're very tailored to the individual customer and they're very personalized, which is why when you see a 1 in 5 response rate, that is unheard of when it comes to any type of marketing post-sale follow-up. You're looking at 1 in 100, 1 in 200, maybe even 1 in 500. So the fact that she's getting 1 in 5 to respond to her is because they're so tailored to the individual customer and not some big marketing blast or marketing text blast that's very generic.
I love that. I think that's great. And I got a question. We're talking about post-sale at customers that we've actually sold. So the 3 out of the 4 people that don't buy a car at my store, how well does this communicate with them? Because I know my salespeople, when they get told no, their last thing they want to do is call these people back. So how do we open that communication? Does this work with that also?
Yeah, for sure. So if they're out of the market or they bought elsewhere, whatever the case may be, she's going to keep in contact with them. A couple of months down the road, she's just going to check into them. And if they bought for whatever they bought elsewhere, whatever the reason they didn't buy with you, she's going to keep in contact with them. And then when they reach back out, maybe they're in the market and she's going to push them in as a new lead. So that's a customer that maybe the store gave up on that she's going to keep trying for later on down the road. And she's going to be a lead gen.
That's bingo right there. Because we preach, Lou and I, every dealership we go into is maybe not 100% of the people that you come in the store buy from you, but 100% will buy. I want to raise that percentage up inside my store. If I own one, I want to, instead of just getting 25% of the people that walk in, I'd like to get it closer to 50, even if it takes a year for me to help them out. Even if it takes me 3 years from now after they do their next vehicle, I spent money on that lead. I want to be able to make sure that I culture that and make sure that they become raving fans of what we do. Because one thing that's for sure is the other stores are probably not going to do it. And if we are the ones doing it, then we're going to change things. They're going to remember you and experience, right? I love this.
If she reaches back out to them and they're not in the market, they weren't a sales lead, they didn't need any service, but she's going to create brand loyalty through that brand ambassador. She's caring about them. She's reaching out personalized touch messages with them post sale, or if they were even a dead deal, to try to make her have a relationship with that dealership so that they do come back when the time is right.
Because if a customer forgets about us, it's 100% our fault. The customer forgets about our dealership, it's 100% our fault, no matter what the experience was like, no matter what the deal was like. You can see salespeople get really in their feels. Man, I gave him a deal. I really hooked him up. I took care of him so well. And then I never called him again. And then I never sent them a text. And then I never said nothing on their birthday. I never said nothing on the day that they were their birthday of having the car, right? All of these different things that are actually easy touch points for us. We've also passed over to the augmented intelligence, Matt.
100%, because you said it's an easy touch point, but do we always have the time? Do we always have the memory to do it? And so anything that just was forgotten about, she's going to do that for you. Like you mentioned, it's a birthday. She's going to wish out and wish them happy birthday. It is their anniversary of purchase. She will do in as well. And again, if there's someone on the floor right now and you're busy, you don't always have the time. She's there to help pick up those pieces. And at the end of the day, make sure that customer is loyal to the store versus just the salesperson too.
I love it.
And I would add something to that. This loyalty brand ambassador, one thing that I haven't been very successful with, even though I've launched it, is digital retailing. Not too many deals are completing their transaction completely online. And I would think the more people are having that brand ambassador category, the more success over time that would potentially have with digital retailing.
Yeah, and that's one of the, and you got in the auto world, the thing is, what has she done for me lately? Everyone always wants to look at that immediate sale or the immediate sales lead, but these are crucial for your store going forward and having them come back to you. They might not buy today, they might not be buying next month, but when you create the relationship with them, they do come back and they will lead to future sales.
Fact. And it just stays inside of what it is that we tend to forget that we promised the customer. It's not just a car. It's not just you're going to have all the things that come with the car. It is the service after. It's the you matter to us after. We're going to communicate with you after. In any relationship, usually the breakdown is by way of communication, right? And us not making intentional steps forward to keep communicating with each other could affect the most solid and happiest of marriages to the most superficial of friendships, right? If you don't stay in contact, you don't keep communicating, one doesn't feel valued and eventually doesn't feel vested inside of that relationship anymore.
So
and it's our responsibility to take the tools that we have to eliminate where it is that our human error, and yes, our memory tends to drop the ball a bunch. What is it? We call it a DriveCentric fumble. Right?
Yep.
Kind of fumbles all over the place. But love how you guys jumped on the ball to make sure that we slowed down the fumble rate, because though it may not be 100% accurate yet, we are working towards refining it that way. Now,
think of us as customers, right? Think of when we go somewhere and we buy something. Where do we get back after we buy? We get an email blast, a text blast for a promotion that you can't even talk to anyone when you respond to it. This is what makes this so unique, is these are personalized messages that lets the customer know we care. And it's not something that's just generic marketing, generic text, something that the system's automatically doing. These are really unique personalized touches that does make the customers feel special.
True that. Kaveh, how have you seen the actual participation with basically the DriveCentric be with your people? Because I'm sure this isn't the first actual CRM you've been able to experiment with.
No, definitely not. What would I say about DriveCentric culture is that it's a different culture than most CRMs. How they believe in the relationship with the dealership, how they create a team, a pod, and make sure that there's availability, make sure that the individuals know the dealership. Like we talked about before, everyone has different processes, everyone has different agendas, and assigning a team to that, not an individual, which that person could be on vacation or that person is interchangeable. There's a very good consistency that I find with DriveCentric that I haven't found with other CRMs. And it's one of those things that, I don't know a better example, but it's like going to the barber and you've used the same barber for many years. At that point, they know what you want. You know what the conversation is going to be. And I feel that way with DriveCentric. I feel like a lot of time is not wasted establishing it, understanding what I'm trying to accomplish. So a lot of times, and then this has happened, they reach out and says, I think you'll be interested in this. Let's have a conversation about it. And that's great. That's what a partnership should be all about.
Yeah, that's something that most people wish that they had with many of their technology partners. But tell us a little bit on the side of understanding that, yeah, they do make the adjustment for you, but they're also willing to listen when you start to find the quirks inside of the system. So what kind of challenges have you started to see or have brought to light?
Well, a great example is the conversation we had before the call, talking to Matt. I said that I see an issue with the fact that some of the conversations aren't carrying over into the activity of the profile. And Matt was like, I guess you haven't seen the enhancements that was enhanced last week. So
there's been an
I didn't check the enhancements last week. Yeah, they're very fast and making sure that the product that they're providing to us is serving the purpose that we want.
Yeah, I can see it now. I can see all the pod or all the people in the background, Matt saying, "What's the matter?" And you're hearing the refresh. It should be fixed. Hold on, no. Refresh and check it again. But that's how Johnny on the spot they are, though. They want to be able to get to the bottom of the problem quick, provide a solution that's viable, right? That isn't just quick and easy, but actually is going to fix the problem. But really, they are very quick to do it. But I love how you brought up their culture, because it's very rare that you have a company whose culture, actual human lifestyle culture, converts into the technology. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome to see how they are paired together, and one does balance the other, because it is a direct reflection of what it's like being with DriveCentric, being innovative, being so thoughtful. And also at the end of the day, because we're just a couple of car guys over here, Fred and I, how car guy, they are so car guy driven, and their thought pattern behind that is geared in the vein that we would flow in. Kaveh, how has it been knowing that, oh, this is a for car guys, by car guys type of technology? How is that? How do you feel as though that has made things easier for you?
I think all the CRMs are designed for car guys. I would say that this particular CRM is designed more for the end user than any CRM I've ever seen. A lot of CRMs are designed for maybe the executive level, dashboards, reporting, different things. This CRM is truly designed for the salesperson and the people that are going to be in the system looking for car deals. And that's reassuring to me. I think in the past, a lot of demos that I went to for CRMs, they were cool on my level. I was like, wow, that's a great report. This is amazing. This gives me a snapshot. Then you launch it with the team. It's not necessarily the best for that end user. And I think that's one of the big differences with Drive. When they were looking at it, they were thinking about the person that's going to be in the system majority of the time.
I love that. It is. This is a CRM that users love to use, right? It's literally for the user, and it makes it very friendly, and it feels very today. You know what I mean? It's not like an old, you look at some of these older CRMs, I'm not going to say names, but it looks like old technology. You're like, okay. Yeah. They feel like they're working at like an old factory and they're punching numbers in. Instead, they get to feel like they're using like an app that you would download to be able to communicate with anybody else, like a social media app. Right. So it's powerful. And I love that it's super easy to use. The clicking, only a couple clicks gets you everything that you need for the most part. And that's really exactly what customers want. So we treat our users the same way we treat our customers, is we make it simple for them. We make it easy for them. And and I love that you said that all CRMs are made for car guys. But I believe in what Lou was trying to say there. And I love what Lou was saying there, is that it was thought about by car guys and then created that way. Right. So, which is why they take the opinion of the dealers that they actually work with, their dealer partners, and they say, hey, you're right. We need to make that better. Hey, you're right. Let's keep doing this together. Hey, we're going to fix this problem for you. And they understand. And what I love about that also is they understand the urgency of speed of fixing things. Right. Like, you can't have an issue and my CRM is not good for a day or two. I'm out. I can't do that. I can't do business this way. I need you to fix it right now. Even not because it's just me. Everybody that has this issue should get it fixed right now if it's possible. So I love that they do that. And I love that they have dedicated pods to certain dealers and you become relational with those people. So it's pretty awesome.
That is exciting. So Kaveh, are we going to see you in Nashville?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
I had a great time at DC20. It definitely it exceeded my expectations. I think I might have mentioned to this before, Lou, I think it's a great setting to take a couple of your managers with you and be able to look at your offsite and come up with plans and processes. And I just have to, if I was going to go, I would have to make arrangements to be able to not go alone. To go with one or two people. And I don't know if I can do that just yet.
I love that. And I stamp that. It's exactly right. And that's what a leader should be thinking is, how do I help lift my team? It's one thing to be the one inspired, but it's nice when you can get everyone inspired. And if everybody comes, like to your point, Kaveh, is that they would come in and see exactly what you saw and be like, okay. And then they'll be more dedicated and more into making it happen instead of it just being your idea. It's all of our ideas. And I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this special. I see a lot of leaders doing that at these DC20s because of that exact reason. I know if I was still running a store, I know if Lou was still running a store, we would do the same thing, because these types of things, they're great. And day after hour things are cool, but the stuff that happens inside that building throughout the
completely
day,
different. No, completely
it's
different.
wild. It's so amazing. It is for people to work together and network and grow. I love it. So
We're car guys, and being around like minds and different markets that have those conversations, I think it's inspiring. And
Yes, sir.
being with a group of people inside a store, it's a healthy environment to come back and create new processes. It's painful to do it by yourself without your manager. So that's what I say, when the time's right, I would definitely be there. I don't know if this round is the right time.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And you're
Fair
so
enough.
right, because it's hard. So many things die because they are just sitting with the individual trying to put it together, and they don't team up with them. They don't team up with somebody else. They don't team up with a team. They try to hold it on their own. And a lot of times what inspired them gets muddled or moved to the background only because nobody else takes it and says, yes and amen, or yes and let's do it, or yes and let's go. You never have that agreement or the I second this motion inside of the building. And in order for us to be able to really go far with either a new technology, a new process, is to go together, go with somebody else.
That's right.
What I'm excited about is getting back together. Matt, is there anything exciting that we need to be looking forward to? Have there been new releases of what speakers are going to be at this next event? Because we definitely had an incredible lineup at the last DC20.
I actually don't know just yet who the speakers are. I know Audrey and Jenna will know.
To be announced.
To be announced in that part. But lots of new features rolling down soon that hopefully we'll be able to get Kaveh on again. But in terms of the speakers and what's going to happen in Nashville, it's still a little in the early planning stages of it. So we'll know more in the next few weeks.
Awesome. Well, I think we might take aim at getting Kaveh up there one time, talking about how he made things move with this technology. Audrey, we see you. Welcome to the party. So excited for everybody that's been jumping in today. What's going on? Let's see who else. Let me see this. We got Miss Amanda jumped up in here. We saw Jenna up in here. My man, Mr. Valdez up in here. How are you, brother? Excited that you all have taken the time to be with us on this marvelous Monday to talk about what's going on at DC20 for this DC20 Unlocked episode. Kaveh, how do people get a hold of you if they want a nicer, newer ride, or they just want to pick your brain a little bit, brother?
Contact information is on the website. Just go to ChevyChaseAcura.com.
Directly. Let's go. Heck yeah. We definitely would love to make a visit out to the DC area, get to check you all out and see how to caffeinate your culture a little bit. But car guys and car gals, this has been another great episode, again, with our teammate over here, Mr. Matt Tierney. We're going to go ahead and just start passing this off to Matt. Matt can just probably host this show on his own at this point. He does help to find the guests and definitely knows way more about the background things going on with DriveCentric. But we are so excited to have
Matt
everybody
create his own show. Let's pass it on. That's what I'm saying.
Let you guys produce it. You guys, I'll create it. You produce it.
We're in. And that's, folks, see that happening soon. After this season's over, the next season, it's Matt Tierney's show. He's going to be the host. So I'm putting that out there. So let's go. All right.
Awesome.
Good stuff. Only one thing left to do, Lou.
There is only one thing left to do, and that's to drop those F-bombs that don't offend the moms, and that's make sure that we do forgive, focus, and fly so we can keep growing all the time. So help us out. Kaveh, Mr. Suave, go ahead and forgive, focus, fly on 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive.
Focus.
And
fly.
Right, and fly. And
keep growing, brother.
Hey, my first time. I think I got it down for next time.
Hey, awesome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in for this DC20 Unlocked episode. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
With your special host, the one, the only, Matt
Tierney.
We have been hosting and so thankful for the time that you've taken to spend with us today. The one, the only, Kaveh. See you all later. Keep brewing solutions, everybody. Tag them around, share it around. We're out. Peace.